Esteemed colleagues, we continue our campaign. The floor is given to the Speaker of the Presidential Administration of Ukraine on the ATO issues, Colonel Lysenko. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Yesterday, we are actually released from the enemy's captivity. One of the defenders of the Donetsk airport, Officer 81st Brigade of the Airborne Forces, Andriy with the nickname Rahman. He spent 4 months in captivity, and yesterday, after 18th attempt, we managed to exchange him for the major of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation, Nikolai Starkov, who was part of the occupation contingent of the territory of Donbass. The Russian major was detained by our border guards near the village of Berezovo, and he told many interesting things to our special services. Yesterday, the enemy was active only in the Donetsk sector. One enemy's provocation was recorded near or registered near the village of Lugansk and Svetlodarsk Bulge, and 4 more near Mayorsk. They used only small arms and the grenade launchers. Traditionally, the most let's say, unquiet spot in the ATO zone was in the western suburbs of Donetsk. Yesterday, this section of the front line, unnamed or the random shooting took place after 3 p.m. All the way up to midnight. Heavy weaponry was not used. In the Mariinka, the sniper was shooting at our positions. Over the last 24 hours, as a result of the road accident, 1 Ukrainian soldier was killed and another one was wounded. This took place in Mariupol sector near the village of Granitny, where the ATO truck actually tripped the landmine. The combatants used the slave labor, and they actually torture their hostages. The SBU employees met a man with numerous wounds near the ATO positions near the village of Novgorodsk region, and this injured person actually turned out to be a resident of Golivka, who told a lot of things, how he was forced to dig out trenches, and they actually stabbed his hand, and they broke his skull with the butt of the submachine gun. Now you can hear his testimonies. What kind of attitude? They were trashing us. Thrashing because for example, they said that we poorly worked. They stabbed my hand. What happened to your skull and your hand? I can see the bandages. And they actually stabbed me with a knife. I mean, stabbed my hand just for nothing. And then they used the butt of the submachine gun to break my skull. They forced me to serve them like a slave labor. Why did you decide to flee to the government-controlled territory, Ukraine, not to your place of residence? Because I never had something, had not experienced anything like that during my life. Also, what's about your leg? They shoot at me from the Kalashnikov AK. Why? Because I did not work properly. What is the attitude on the part of the Ukrainian servicemen to you? When they fled from the DPR, they provided me with the first medical aid. They took me to the hospital. What can you say to the residents of DPR, LPR who served in the illegal armed formations if they did not commit any crime? So just come back to Ukraine. Everything is going to be okay with you if you did not commit any crime. Thank you. And the Ukrainian Special Services try to let's say to avoid the different subversive actions. So for example, near the Rubizhny city, they wanted to carry out the subversive action using the grenade launchers, explosives, and small arms on the territory of the armed forces, which was located near chemical plant. The organizer, who is a resident of Lysychansk, he was a fighter in the ranks of the occupationists, and they actually organized these subversive actions involving the drug addicts. In Artemivsk, police seized the box with the drugs containing 400 grams of methadone, which was thoroughly concealed in this kind of parcel and addressed to the pensioner from Gorlinka. It was established that the drugs were meant to be spread on the occupied territory. In Volnovakha district, Donetsk region, Ukrainian policemen detained the informer of the combatants since August till September 2015. This person by phone on a regular basis informed delivered information to the enemy about the movement of the military equipment of the armed forces of Ukraine. And at the same time, another combatant made actual use of the SBU programs. You're awaited at home, and he came back to the Ukraine-controlled territory. According to him, he was just taking care of the duties of the checkpoints in the Donetsk region and did not participate in the armed forces. I live in the region, Slovyansk district of Donetsk region. Since May of 2014, I participated in the activities of DPR, Donetsk People Republic. My commander was feeling from the team of Alexei Mozgovoi. My task was to gather the information and to deliver it to feeling regarding the movement of Ukrainian armed forces. I was on duty at different checkpoints in November 2015. I actually came to know, I was tired of this kind of life and decided to return home and surrender to the SBU. I read from different sources about this program that I had a chance to come back. So guys, so surrender and come back to your near and dear. They're waiting for you or waiting you.
The military counterintelligence found the hiding place with the ammunition and explosive in Mariupol. 4 anti-tank mines, 3 trotile sticks, and 2 electric detonators were seized. According to operational information, that was designed for subversive activities as the key objects of infrastructure before the local elections in the city. The cadets of the Faculty of Military Training in Kharkiv Polytechnical Institute were driving combat vehicles day and night. They were, in some sections, were tugging the vehicles and were also working on some other skills. Also, Kharkiv cadets had another additional course of technical communication of units and the conditions of military actions. Recently, the National Guard was re-equipped with the newest systems of communication that cannot resist to interference. Ukrainian rescue men opened the heating point at the cross point in Stanitsa Lugansk. Every day this point is crossed by 3,000 citizens. The main task is to create proper conditions for citizens. There are 2 toilets open. There's the doctor and rescue people there. They offer hot tea and biscuits every day. Minimum 600 people come there. 18 trucks with humanitarian assistance, which carry 333 tons of food products, hygienic means, and medical equipment from International Red Cross Committee, passed to the control point Novotroitsk to occupied territory. That is all the information for today. Now the questions. Please introduce yourselves. Good afternoon, Ksenia Dvornikova. Please clarify. Did Ukrainian servicemen open fire in response to provocation? No, and there was no fire opened in response to provocation. There were 18 shellings registered, no attacking actions. Thank you, Colonel. Any more questions? Once you have no more questions, thank you, Andriy. And unfortunately,